Hello students. Now let us continue with constitutional design. Under that guiding values of the Indian Constitution we were doing. We have already done two guiding values. We shall now in this video discuss about the institutional design. Now what is institutional design? We know about legislature, about executive, about judiciary. We have already done this in class 8. So these are known as the institutions. So let us see what is the institutional design as per the Indian Constitution. The Constitution is not merely a statement of values and philosophy. It's not only that these values are written in the Constitution and it has to be kept in a closed book. No, as we have already discussed, the Constitution is mainly about embodying these values into institutional arrangements, how it is going to be implemented, how it is going to be effective, okay, and practical. Much of the document called Constitution of India is about these arrangements. It is a very long and detailed document. Therefore, it needs to be amended quite regularly to keep it updated. If you remember, students, we have already discussed about the Indian Constitution being both flexible as well as rigid. Okay, so that is what is being talked about. It is very long, and our constitution makers, okay, we have seen that how they deliberated, they discussed for a long period of time, and then this provision was given that amendment. What do you mean by amendment? Changes, which has to be brought in. See, the constitution was written so almost 6 decades ago. So many changes have to come in any society, and when these kind of changes come, so maybe there's a requirement to bring in changes. So that is what is being said here. Those who crafted the Indian Constitution felt that it has to be in accordance with people's aspiration and changes in society. So I just discussed about this. I hope you understand, and changes are there. There are changes. For example, information technology, computer, software, all these things are new. So these have to be incorporated. Now, when these things came, cyber crimes, for example. So cyber law has to be there. Okay, some kind of rules and regulations have to be there. It's not only with there can be crime. In in spite of that, we should have some rules and regulations when new things come in our society. They did not see it as a secret, static, and unalterable, law. Try to understand. As I've given here, sacred means Gita, Bible, Quran. They are secret textbooks. We cannot change it. Somebody, whoever has written if it is a sermon from God or it is a sermon from messenger of God, we cannot change. Okay, we can interpret it in our own ways, but it becomes sacred. Static, again, which is not changeable. It has to be as it is. And next is unalterable, means which cannot be changed. Alteration, when we have any problem in the fitting, we go to the tailor for alteration. So that means no trimming off, adding something, subtracting something. It is not like that. So they kept this flexibility, and then that means that changes can be made when required. So they made provisions to incorporate changes from time to time as per requirement. These changes are called constitutional amendments. Okay? The Constitution describes institutional arrangements in a very legal language. I told you, if you remember, that is why many a times, students who want to appear for law entrance or who, study law, if they know, if they understand what is Latin, what are the Latin words, English words which have originated from Latin or Greek, okay, or French, it's always helpful. So the legal language, maybe you must have seen, a lawyer's office, the full of big fat books, because, they have to keep on consulting. So it may, suppose you and me, we just take out the constitution, the original, and we read it, we'll find it difficult. But then what is there? that as it is written, see, if you read the constitution for the first time, it can be quite difficult to understand. But basic institutional design is not very difficult, which actually we are going to study. You already have had some idea in your previous classes, and let's see how we are going to do. Like any constitution, okay, you can say like any constitution, the constitution lays down, the Indian constitution lays down the procedure for choosing persons to govern the country. Okay, so that is the entire electoral process, how it has to go on, how we are going to elect the leaders. It has been written in the constitution. It's not that the election commission will make some, they have to make a plan for that. It's not like that. They have to just abide what is written in the constitution. It defines who will have how much power to take which decisions. Okay, so this is again it's very important. And then of course, and it puts limits to what the government can do by providing some rights to the citizens that cannot be violated. As we know about the fundamental rights, if they are violated, we can directly go to the courts. Okay, we have already done this. You know about it. We can approach the high courts and the Supreme Court. You don't have to start from the district court or the local court. Okay, so that is these are the three things. So the main features of democracy, how we have to go about to implement democracy, it is all written. And then, as you can see here, we shall discuss about this in details in the next 3 chapters of this book. Okay, one by one. The very next chapter we are going to do about the electoral politics in depth. So you will understand. You have some idea. But when we do that chapter, students, you'll understand that it's how very well it has been taken. And then the next chapter talks about institutional design. What is just a I'm giving you just a kind of trailer that we are going to do in the that is chapter number 5, and we are going to study about the 3 institutions, 3 pillars of a constitution, that is the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. Okay, and the last chapter, of course, in this particular session, because CBSE has cut down the course by 30%, so it has been dropped. But we can certainly have a discussion on that. Maybe we'll not study from from examination point of view, but from knowledge point of view, we are going to surely discuss that chapter. And then, of course, what in this particular class, that is class 9, we are going to cover some salient features. Salient features, as you know about this, the most important features of the institution design in the Indian Constitution in this class. And next, further, which we are going to cover some in this class, in class 9, and then we will move forward. When we go to class 10, we are going to discuss the other salient features. And students, as I told you, the journey of democracy has started in class 9. We will continue the journey in class 10, and finally we will have some basic idea about how, not some, you can say, we can have a good idea, you can say, we can have in class 9th and 10th. And this is about our constitution, and this is all about this particular chapter, constitutional design. Thank you so much. As the practice exercise, I have, that is why I just broke this into small parts so that we can have a lot of interaction and discussion. We will discuss the topic further in the class also, and we'll have a very interactive session. And the questions, practice exercise and everything, all past CBSE questions, it's going to, follow in the next PDF. Okay. Thank you so much, students, all over again. Have a good day. Goodbye.